It's a picture. Oh no, it started. Look at that.
Okay,
So you can talk.
good. Hi. Do superpower. What do you want to know? Yeah. So what do you want to know about superpower? Huh? When do you come in the flag, right? So yeah, what you need to do, ask me questions. Give me the questions that you feel your people want to know about superpower,
Mhm.
and then I'll tell them about it.
But
That works the best. So
okay. So what
you,
do you feel? Which rundown from the 10 was most powerful for you, or effective, or change your
oh
work?
wow, which rundown?
Yeah.
You know what? We should play this back and see if the sound is okay. Just play this minute back so we don't do a whole thing and then waste it. Captured. I've
So
been captured at flag. Yeah, get this FSO right. Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
okay. So
So what
now,
do you want to know about superpower?
so what was your most life-changing rundown
Well,
from
let me
superpower?
just say I just finished superpower.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo!
Yeah,
Yes.
6 intensives
Good.
and all the perceptions, and it was the best thing I've ever done in my life. I'm grade 0 in a class 4. I'm on staff in Minneapolis. Um, and this is something that everyone needs to do. It's not just a good idea. It's not just something that's fun to do, or you should maybe think about doing after you do, some other really important level on the bridge. Do superpower yesterday. It will solve everything. That's the slogan. We fix everything. That's the superpower slogan. Everything's fixed.
That's
I want
true.
to get the T-shirt, with
But
the super logo on the front, right? With an R, and then on the back it says everything's fixed, right? Because it really is. I mean, it just you asked me what my favorite rundown was. That's a hard one to ask because they're all your favorite as soon as you have them. It starts off with the ethics and justice rundown, and boy, how do you a being is ethical. And when you realize that you are ethical, when I realize that I am ethical, that I can't really not be ethical as a being, it's so freeing. Your power just turns on because you go, wow, all the ethics cycles or things that I've had that didn't go well, that was an injustice. That was not a correct cycle. Because anytime you have an ethics action that is L or H, it feels just like auditing. It's just as helpful as auditing because it's 10th dynamic, right? Per the tech dictionary under 10th dynamic, ethics is a amazingly powerful action. This is your first action on superpower. I had a cognition that I can't be too ethical.
wow.
It's like, I used to think, oh, well, I actually had a valence of that I didn't want to appear too ethical because that was kind of weird.
Hmm.
That if you were too ethical, you're weird. But that's when you're assuming ethics is subscribing to some moral code. And you're sometimes you can even use policy as a moral code, and you have to rigidly follow policy because otherwise you're not being ethical. Well, the thing is, ethics is reason. If something makes sense,
Yeah.
that's what you do. And you're able to then trust your own ethics. Well, once you can trust your own ethics and trust your own self to be ethical, now the doors just start opening up and you run in now into the second rundown called the personal revival rundown. Now, unlike most people, I knew I was dead. When I came to Flag, right,
Hmm.
Ron says that there's if you have goals and people that are not able to envision themselves completing their goals, he says, you're not living. That's not an exact quote. But unless you have the feeling that I can go from A to B predictably and I can achieve my goals, you're not living. Well, another way to say that is you're dead. And so after superpower on the personal revival rundown, in one afternoon, they turned my lights on. It was just like someone went and flipped the switch.
Wow.
And all of a sudden you're on. And I came out of session that day. I was in the elevator, and people were kind of looking at me, and I knew there was nothing wrong.
Hmm.
So I was like, "Do you feel that?" And they go, "Yeah." I go, "Oh." Get used to it. That's life. Feels unusual to me too, but I'm alive again. It's really true, right? And you just
Yeah.
go, oh my God, this is amazing. And even it happened again later that night. I was outside and I said to sort of a crowd of people, I said, "Do you feel that?" And some girl from like 15 feet away, she goes, "Yes." And I was like, "Wow."
Wow.
It was, you know, and,
Uh-huh.
and, and
Uh-huh.
then so that was, that's just the first two rundowns. And you're like, "Oh my God, this is," I was ready to attest. I thought if this is all I get, this is totally worth the trip, And then you start in on all the rest of the rundowns, and each rundown builds upon the last rundown. You hear that in the promo, but every rundown is such that it builds upon the last rundown.
Uh-huh.
And by the end of all the rundowns, they've all come together, and you're just functioning. You feel like you have superpower. You just feel like you can go into an org or talk to anybody, and they're going to be your friend. If you're not my friend today, you'll be my friend tomorrow, unless you're some kind of SP or PTS person. But you just keep chipping through that ridge or whatever's there, and you go, well, hey, the problem's not here anymore, and there's just no back off on that. One of the things I saw was that I had to stop making friends because I had too many friends in one day. Really, really nice, able friends and people that, before I sensed, they probably wouldn't have talked to me or it wouldn't have gone as well as it did. That's maybe embarrassing to say, but the truth of it is, you just all of a sudden, um, you're able to grant such beingness to people that you go, well, I see only your positive aspects. And anything that was a negative in my universe before is gone because I just refuse to acknowledge the fact of a negative about someone because there is no negative about you. A person is pure,
I love you.
complete, and total. I love you too, right? Because it's true. Every being is pure, unadulterated, whole theta. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with theta. So the only thing wrong with anybody is you're dragging around a meat body, which has various looks and things and can key in various things in your reactive mind or your other case. But that doesn't matter because you just don't accept that. So you don't ridge on that. If you don't ridge on something, it has no power to you don't capture that ridge.
Mm-hmm.
And the other person feels it, like you just felt. Because you just go, well, oh, he's a nice guy. And then you say, well, okay, if it's a new Scientologist, you go, well, what's your ruin? What's bugging you in life? What can't you do that you want to do? And they go, well, this, that, and the other. And you go, well, okay, you start doing the rest of the DSM drill,
Mm-hmm.
and you find it starts working. You start finding that you have that minimum required level of affinity to let the other person know, look, I really, really do care about you. I'm not in love with you. I don't need to take you out for a cup of coffee, although I could. But it's like, talk to me, because it's just life,
Uh-huh.
and let's live life and let's enjoy life, and that's what you get in a nutshell with superpower, and it keeps on growing. It keeps on going. Um, it just you find new ways. Um, I suppose the final thing that I could say used to be I had my case right here all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're looking at, oh boy, this is in my way, and I wish I could do that more. And I wish I had more affinity, and I wish I could, do this and that. But now, what's here all the time is how can I increase my level of competence? How can I do more? How can I help more? Because you get the feelings of that, you get the joy of that, which I didn't necessarily get before. So now when you're helping someone, you get this intense feeling of joy. At least I do, and everybody that I've talked to has superpower. Everybody has a different thing that's out on your case, and so it just combs through all that stuff, fixes all the dynamics, fixes everything. It just does. So do superpower.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah.